Welcome into Extra Points. I'm Ed Lane. It's hard to know what you have in a season, one game into a season that lasts 3 months, which it makes it difficult for us to actually figure out what we know and don't know about Carlisle field hockey after their 2-0 win at Forsyth Country Day yesterday. You can't really quantify what you know and what you don't know. I think, especially when you consider this is the first time in over 7 years where they've actually played a game before participating in the Mount Tabor tournament, which they'll be doing on Saturday. Usually that's the benchmark for what this team has an idea of where they are and what they have. So I don't think we'll really have a clear understanding till at the earliest this Saturday afternoon after the Mount Tabor tournament, and perhaps not even until next Friday, August the 29th, when Carlisle gets ready to take on St. Anne's Belfield in their home opener. However, some encouraging signs, and then some signs where you clearly look for growth opportunities. I think the encouraging sign is the back line of defense looks very strong. Olivia Evans, Katie Ryan Snyder, and Katie Pike. You expect that. They're all seniors, but they held their own when they were pressured yesterday. 3 soft corners, 4 shots that went wide of goal. Madison Knuckles, the freshman in goal, made a sliding stop that didn't save a shot but would have prevented one from going in. So you have to feel confident about your defense. We saw the ability as well offensively for Emily Morgan and Ann Parker Coleman to create some separation and show they have the ability to create their own shots. I think right now, one game in and judging on what we've seen from these two girls, those are positives for Carlisle. Another one is they hung in the game defensively. It's scoreless until 7.5 minutes left when Emily Morgan puts in the first goal with an assist from Virginia Berry. And then 4 minutes later when Alex Hornsby sets up Morgan for her second goal in the final one of the contest in that 2-0 Carlisle win. I think, areas where you have to think this team probably needs to be tested a little bit more and may be difficult because the back end of that defense is so good and experienced. But Madison Knuckles, her first starting goal, didn't technically have a shot on goal to her. That is a testament to the defense, but it's something you still want to see early in the year just to get an idea of where she is, where she can grow. I think she showed a lot of athleticism yesterday and potential, which is a positive sign. But for Carlisle's field hockey team, I think you need to see a little more just in-game experience. And there's really, in Madison's defense, she did everything right that she could do yesterday under all of her circumstances. A lot of it's just you have to be put in that situation to know how to respond. And, steps were taken yesterday. More steps will be taken this weekend in the Mount Tabor tournament. The other area I think you want to see out of this team is how they continue to respond to less than ideal circumstances. I think yesterday was an extremely positive step in that regard. Last year they had a number of contests, whether it was a sloppy rain-filled game at Chatham Hall, 2 trips to North Cross and their less than ideal field up there, one that they have to use for football and boys soccer as well. Carlisle showed they could handle that yesterday in what was a very wet and sloppy field. Even Gina Christ, the head coach for Forsyth Country Day, said in our Snyder Orthodontics warm-up show that was a factor that she didn't really like, but admitted that there wasn't a whole lot they could do. They made adjustments, the Carlisle Chiefs did, at halftime, playing the ball toward the middle and then the drier part of the field. But they showed they could handle that. There was some frustration a little bit early. It seemed to get to the team. Perhaps nerves for it being their first game, and perhaps just general frustration, I think, comes from anybody when you're playing on that kind of a field, which is very sloppy and wet, what they had to endure in that 2-0 win at Forsyth Country Day. But I think the positive you can take out of this is you're 1 game into the season, and you've already had some adversity, some of which you cannot control, and it's just an element that both teams have to deal with. For a Carlisle team that plays on a pristine surface at the sports complex, getting that kind of experience can prove invaluable, and it already lays the foundation for confidence going forward. With those extra points, I'm Ed Lane. We're back with more tomorrow, courtesy of Mountain Jacks at 45 East Church Street in Uptown Martinsville. Fresh fruits, fresh veggies, fresh meats for fresh food at Mountain Jack's.